men as trees, walking. After that, he put his hands upon his eyes again and made him look up, and he was restored and saw every man clearly. So when we're looking at this right here, these are expected outcomes. These are things that, okay, they don't have any tricks. They don't take much faith to understand this. It doesn't take a lot of faith to understand something, if you understand things that you expect to happen. I expect if I go to work every day that I'm going to get a check on Friday. It doesn't take a whole lot of faith for that. I expect if I put gas in my car, I expect it to at least run until the point if there's nothing else wrong with it. It doesn't take a whole lot of faith for that. I expect that if I continue to take care of my body and barring any accidents and nothing else going wrong, I expect those things to happen. I expect the air to be here for me to breathe every day. I expect a lot of different things. We expect God, well, God's going to take care of me, he's going to do this, but we expect. But sometimes what we expect does not come the way that we were seeking it. So many times that we expect, well, God, I want God to do this way, and then he might do it another way, but because he did it another way, we claim that he didn't do it, and therefore we miss our blessing. So if we stick in the routine of things, of expecting things, when you're in the expectation, you become routine. Routine does not take a lot of faith. If things get off course a little bit, that routine bumps you off. If you're in expectation, if you are expecting a desired outcome, that becomes some kind of boring. And that's how sometimes people get bored with church. Well, you know what? I know pastor's going to get up. They're going to choir. The praise team is going to sing. Then the choir's going to come. And then the offering's going to come. Then the preacher's going to preach. He's going to preach 25, 30 minutes. He's going to probably ask me for 5 more. After that, I'm going to hug somebody and I'm going to go home. That's tradition. That's what we expect. What if God came in and said, well, you know what? It ain't going to be no offering today. I'm going to slay everybody in the Holy Ghost before they walk in the door. And we're going to do it like this. Will we like that? But that might but we begging for rain. Rain, just because rain, why is rain called rain? Well, it fell from the sky and somebody called it that. That's how he got his name. But does rain always have to fall from the sky? Well, the rain could already be the rain. Who's designated that the rain has to come from the sky? The rain can come from the earth. It's determined on what we call it, but it's our expectation of what we expecting the rain to be. The rain could be already among us and we don't even recognize it because we're looking for it in this way and the rain is not coming the way that we desire it to come. Because God, if you bring the rain this way, it's going to make me uncomfortable because you know what? I'm in the spirit of expectation. I have to be on my edge all the time. I have to be up on my seat. I have to be on my P's and Q's because if not, I might miss what you're trying to do in this church today. So it's going to the unexpected. All right, back in Numbers, remember we just read back what Moses did. Then said back in Numbers, said, take the rod and go gather their assembly there together, and Aaron their brother, and speak ye unto the rock, therefore their eyes. And it shall give forth his water, and thou shalt bring forth to them water out of the rock. So that shall give the congregation and their beasts drink. This is Old Testament. So he told Moses the first time to what? He told him to hit the rock. But the second time he told Moses what? He told him to speak to the rock. But what did Moses do? Just like us, he went up there, hit the rock. So many times, and what happened to Moses as a consequence of that? God did not allow him to go to the land of milk and honey. So many times, we looking for God to do something the way that we want to do it. And when he changes his methods a little bit, we become uncomfortable and we're going to stick and do things the way that we normally do them because we get the desired result. But who knows if Moses wouldn't have hit that rock, what he could have gotten? Only God would know. Only God knows what he had in store for Moses not hitting that rock. Now, mind you, he blessed it anyway because his people needed to be blessed. And Moses was the leader, so he was not going to make the leader look bad in front of him because people were looking to Moses because God had made Moses almost God to those people because Moses intercedes to God on the behalf of those people. Many times God wanted to take those people out and Moses wouldn't allow him to do it. Moses gave himself as a living sacrifice unto God to say, Lord, please do not allow these people to be taken away. So in many instances, Moses was God to them. But he was not the true and living God because Moses knew that he was just an instrument of the true and living God. So then we go on to Mark 10, 49, 52. And Jesus stood still, and commanded him to be called. And they called the blind man, saying unto him, Be of good comfort, rise, he called thee. And he cast away his garment, rose, and came to Jesus. And Jesus answered and said unto him, What wilt thou that I should do unto thee? The blind man said unto him, Lord, that I might receive my sight, make thee whole. And immediately he received sight and followed Jesus in the way. John 9:1, 9:1 and 9:6-7. And as Jesus passed by, he saw a man which was blind from his birth. When he had thus spoken, he spat on the ground and made clay of the spittle, and he anointed the eyes of the blind man with the clay. And he said unto him, Go wash in the pool of Siloam, which is by interpretation sent. He went his way, therefore, and washed and came seeing. All right, so look, we got Jesus right here. Jesus came out and he said, Brandon, can I use you? Brandon's Jesus. Well, Jesus, I want to be healed, and I can't see. And the first time he did what? He just put his hands on his eyes. The first time he said, I see men as trees. Something ain't right, bro. Put them on there again. He put them back on there again. Then he was able to see as God wanted him to see. So that was one way that he did it. So now, just imagine for a moment if the other guy, he went around, oh yeah, Jesus laid hands on me, I was able to see, You have to go try him too. So let's go on to Mark, where the other man at? Well, what if he didn't? Well, Jesus, come lay eyes on me. Come lay your hands on me. And Jesus turns his back to him. Well, you just go away and you can see. But no, Jesus, you put your hand on the other guy. Why can't you touch me? I'm not important enough for you to touch me. Well, I don't really need to touch you. I just told you just walk off and have faith and believe it, and it's going to happen because your faith has already made you whole. But Lord, you didn't touch me. That's us right there. That's us right there. Because we're looking for him to come in one way, but then when he shows himself, because God is multifaceted. He has many facets. He's infinite. We cannot define what he is. He has no beginning. He has no end. But because he's infinite, what do we do? And then it seemed like to me, it got grosser as it got along. Because then what did he do? Spit on yourself. I'm all right. He spit on his eyes. Now, if the first thing somebody told me they were going to heal me and they were going to spit on my eyes, the first thing I would have been like, yuck. The second thing you would have been like, oh no, I'd rather be blind. But it wasn't even in the spit. It was the thing that Jesus was trying this man's faith. So now this man is spitting on his eyes. Well, he spits on his eyes, and he takes his hands off his eyes. Now this man is able to see. Well, what the other guy, well, you know what? Well, you just imagine, if you will, for he went on to talk to the other guys, talk to the other guys. Well, he spit on you, but he just touched me. And then the other guy comes along, been blind from birth, dying to see all his life. People knew this guy. Everybody knew who he was because he was blind from birth. And he was a witness to God because God's about his glory. He's about his faith and his glory. He said, without faith, it's impossible to please God. He's about faith and glory. And if you can give him that too, I guarantee you'll be in the high esteem to him. Because if you have faith, you're going to do all the rest of it. And then because you're doing all the rest of it, he's going to receive his glory. So if you're doing those two things, I would beseech you that you're going to do and fulfill what it is that he wants you to do in your life. So the second thing, what he do then? It got even grosser. Now remember, the first time he just touched the first guy. The second guy he spit on. Now what he do to this guy? He spit in the ground. So not only did you just spit, now you spit in the dirt, the grime, the thing, horse manure and people walking on all day. You got to remember, they walking the Dusty Roads of Calvary. They didn't have cars. So these animals were trotting along, and he spits in the ground, the grime of the dirt, but the grime of the earth. He takes that, spits in it, makes them up, sticks